So in the previous video, we talked about how you have to have the same base if we're going to combine terms together. So let's look at some kind of organizational strategies that'll allow us to do that more easily. So here we have an expression where we have 5 terms total. And now let's look at our bases and see if we can find terms with the same base. So the first term here, the base is x squared. So I'm going to look for another term with a base of x squared, and I see that here. So I'm going to rewrite those two at the front here, just next to each other. And then I'm going to move on to the next base. Now the next base that I see here, I have 3 of these xy's. Now I'm going to go ahead and put a box around it. Notice that I put a box around the sign, whether it's positive or negative. I find that helpful in not mixing up or missing my positive or negative values. And looking here, well, I don't see any terms with the same base. So let's go ahead and add that in. And then I move on to my last term or my last base, which I already noticed. I have this positive 6y here. So my base in this case is y, and I have 6 of them. And I also have negative 7y's. And you'll notice that I use different kind of circling or underlining methods for each different base. It's a little strategy I find helpful with organization. I also color coded them, something else I find helpful. And here we're going to now combine the like terms. So now that I have them grouped together, I see that I have negative 4x squareds and negative 5x squareds. Well, that's a total of negative 9 of these x squareds. I don't have any other terms with the same xy base, so I'm going to remain at 3 of those xy's. And lastly, I have 6 positive y's and an additional 7 negative y's. That's going to be a total of negative 1 of those y's. Now, some of you will be saying, Mr. Cooley, this is way too long, and I'll be completely honest, usually I would kind of skip that middle step, but this middle step here is kind of how I think about it. And if they get real complicated, I'll sometimes go back to that as well. That is a quick strategy to help you keep your terms organized when you're trying to simplify them out.